Hi everyone, I'm back. Just wanted to share an update for this week, see how you're all doing as well. And yeah, it certainly feels again like quite another big week. There's been a lot happening on the earth or in the earth, with quite a number of earthquakes happening. So, from as far as I know, in Alaska, in Japan, and then also in Russia. And based on what I've seen, just feels like there's a lot of energy within the earth. That is probably why the earth is kind of going through that expansion, and releasing. That's what it feels like in terms of the earthquakes. And, pretty much is in alignment with what we're also experiencing individually and as a collective. So, yeah, you might be feeling a bit unsteady this week, or I know that every week there's a lot of things coming up, but yeah, the more that you tune into it and just sort of observe, the better you'll be at being able to decipher what's affecting you. And it's something that I've been doing for quite a number of years now, so that's helped me to, yeah, understand, or at least be able to say, is that my stuff, not my stuff? And the better that you are at that, then the more that you can, be able to let go what isn't yours and take, at least look at what is yours. And also, in terms of astrology, we're in Mercury retrograde now, which just means that Mercury, the planet, with respect to Earth, looks like it's slowing down, and it's not stopping as such, but it's just slowing its path. And so Mercury is a planet that moves quite quickly. It rules the signs of Virgo and Gemini. And if you know any Virgos and Geminis, you might see them either being quite analytical or moving quite quickly in their mind, their thoughts, their speaking, that type of thing. I know that quite well, having those in my chart. So when that slows down, we feel that impacted as a whole as well. So just be mindful that this time isn't necessarily about pushing things forward, but it's a time to reflect and review, and all the things that start with RE. And because it's in the sign of Leo, yeah, it's about, and especially because we've got this new moon coming up in Leo on Friday for those of you in Australia. And yeah, so I was going to think of different locations, but we might just stick with Australia for now. Um, yeah, it's that time to really tune into that Leo energy, because the sun is also in Leo as well. So there's a lot of kind of energy directed towards really being in your power. If you know any people with Leo as their sun sign, they generally, except if there are other things going on their chart, able to stand up quite tall. They don't really apologize for themselves. And that's what we're being asked to do in terms of, how we are with the new moon being that. It's like, what are you wanting to manifest that incorporates that energy as well? And in terms of your communication, because Mercury being in retrograde in Leo, then it's important that, for me, it feels like your communication is clear, is coming from that place of power, but at the same time it's also coming from that loving heart space, which is also that Leo energy. So just keep that in mind when communicating, and the more that time goes on, we can get better at all of that, and not just speak because it just comes out, but just to take the time to reflect during this 2 to 3 week period. And also, because there's so much happening on the planet, when we see peace out or non-peace outside of us, it also reflects that non-peaceful part within us. So it's important to cultivate that peace within you, and to find out areas, why you're not feeling peaceful. For example, if you see situations outside which disturb you, And then being able to look at that, but also in quiet moments, it's also a nice thing to send love to the world around us, whether that's in the local community, but also the planet. I like to imagine, when I'm sitting down in meditation, just energy from my heart spreading to the local area, and then it just keeps expanding. I almost imagine a globe and that love spreading around. And if we all did that, then I think the world would definitely be a different place. Right, so I think I've chatted enough. So let's get on to some cards, because I just want to see if there's any further direction there. And hopefully you can still hear me quite well. Just had to put the mic a bit lower. So let's pull these out. So these have come out quite quickly. Okie dokes. So we've got the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is really about trusting your intuition. So more now than ever, it's really important to get out of the mind and really trust yourself. And if that's not something you're not used to, then see if you can cultivate it in your daily life. If if you use your mind a lot, see if you can say, well, what's my gut feel saying? And just sort of practice and let it build, because it's like a any muscle that's not been used for a little while. We end up not being strong with it until we start using it regularly. So that's a big one. It's a major arcana, so it's a big message. You've got the Two of Pentacles, and so this can feel like disturbance, like a lot of things that having to juggle in the physical, with a lot of emotions in the background. So just be aware that when you come across this reading, you see the message, are you juggling a lot of things? And to take that time out to really observe, is it really necessary to be so busy, so active? And if it's in the mind, is there a way to settle that through journaling or meditation, that type of thing? And then we've got the Death card, which is not literal death. It's more about transformation. So it's like the butterfly, one door closing and a new one opening up. So that's what's happening for us as well as we go through this review period, and letting go of things that no longer serve us on a really strong level. So see if that's within you as well. What are you letting go of before this new moon that's coming up on Friday, so that you can really bring in what you want to. You can't bring in new things if you're still focused on the old, whether that's an old hurt, an old situation. I know it's not always easy to let go. That's probably the hardest part, but setting that intention will really help, because when we're clear about what we want and really mean it, then we are supported with that. And then we've got the Hermit card, which is about going within. So a bit like the High Priestess, trusting your intuition, but the Hermit is with the star there. You've got all the knowledge within you. So, don't need to be afraid of being on your own or having to do things on your own. As you trust yourself, as you learn to trust yourself and let go of the things that don't serve you anymore, then you can go within and know that all the knowledge that you need is already within you. And there's nothing to fear about what's coming next, because every step of the way you'll be guided bit by bit. So that's a really lovely message. A lot of strong messages for the week though, with 3 major arcana coming up. And I've got these starseed cards and they wanted to come through, so I just want to see if there's anything there for us. Alright, I won't take all of them, but I just want to take the first one. So you've got their abundance, and so if you've been worried about money, set that as your new intention on Friday. But there's so much for all of us here. There's never really a lack, but it's what we've been told and conditioned to believe through our own caregivers, but also through the experiences that we've had. So keep that in mind. Is that part of what you're letting go of this week, of all the the old lack mentality? So I hope you found that helpful, or interesting, but hopefully helpful. And if you have any feedback or want to share, just either leave a comment or send me a message, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, till next time, lots of love. Bye.